Hello, everybody. This is Narendra Kumar, and we are going through this series of Enjoy Great Books. And today, our book is The Story of Civilization, Part 2 by Arjun Dev. This is an old NCERT book, very useful book. Story of Civilization, Part 2 by Arjun Dev. And we are doing the chapter 12, which combines the part 1. So, this is chapter 12. So, let's start. Chapter 12, the world from 1919 to the Second World War, which means including Second World War. And there are around 20 topics. I think it will take 10 videos of each of 7 to 10 minutes. So we'll keep the videos short, 7 to 10 minutes, and we'll enjoy the process of reading it. Let's forget the end. The world from 1919 to Second World War. Hardly 20 years had passed since the end of the First World War, when in 1939 the Second World War broke out. It was the most destructive war in history, which affected the life of the people in every part of the globe. The 20 years between the First and Second World Wars were a period of tremendous changes all over the world. Many developments took place in Europe which paved the way for the outbreak of the Second World War. A major economic crisis took place during this period, which affected almost every part of the world, and more particularly the most advanced capitalist countries of the West. In Asia and Africa, the period saw an unprecedented awakening of the peoples, which found its fulfillment after the Second World War, the independence movements, including India. The changes and developments in this period are important not only for understanding the forces and factors which led to the Second World War, but also the world that emerged after the war. So it's about what happened afterward till today. Till today. That's why this is very topical. In fact, history is very much in the present. This is the introduction. Now we go to the next subtopic. Europe between the wars. The misery caused by the First World War influenced the political developments in many countries. You have read earlier about the revolution in Germany towards the end of the war, which forced the German emperor to flee the country. Germany became a republic. The proclamation of the republic did not satisfy the German revolutionaries, who attempted another uprising in January 1919. The uprising was, however, suppressed. Two leaders of the German revolutionary movement, Karl Liebknecht, I'm not sure the pronunciation, Karl Liebknecht, and Rosa Luxemburg were assassinated. There was an uprising in Hungary, but the revolutionary government which came into being was overthrown within a few months. In spite of the Russian Revolution, there were revolutions in many other countries of Europe, such as Finland and Baltic states, of Latvia, Estonia, and Lithuania, which had earlier been parts of the Russian Empire. But all these revolutions were short lived. There were movements in other parts of Europe for improvement in living conditions. The political situation in almost every country in Europe was complicated. The period saw the growth of socialist and communist parties in almost every country of Europe. However, within a few years in many countries of Europe, the socialist movements were defeated and dictatorial governments came to power. The same thing is happening now, leftist, religionist. These governments not only suppressed socialist movements but also destroyed democracy. The emergence of dictatorial governments in Europe in this period had dangerous consequences not only for the peoples of Europe but for the whole world. The most dangerous development was the triumph of fascism in Italy and Germany, which paved the way for the Second World War, and that is Mussolini and Hitler. That is the situation. A lot of lessons there. That is why we must read history. Once you read history, you just get to know, okay, it's like, yeah. Anyway, I hope you liked it. The next topic is fascism in Italy. Very interesting topic, which we'll meet in the next section. There are 20 topics. We'll try to cover it in 10 videos, this whole chapter. And the chapter is the world, remember, from 1919 to the Second World War, which means including the Second World War. Thank you.